Welcome. This is episode 8 of the Happy Homeowners Hub podcast, and today we're talking about something that no homeowner wants to hear, but many will eventually face. Oh no, I have water damage. What should I do? This phrase is very common because water damage is one of the most common, misunderstood, and mishandled types of claims I see when I inspect homes. Water has a special talent. It finds places you cannot see. It soaks in the materials that still look dry and quietly turns small problems into expensive disasters. The information in this episode is practical and valuable, and you will be glad you stayed until the end. Welcome to the Happy Homeowners Hub podcast, where we share real-life stories and break down the lessons, mistakes, and wins that can save you time, money, and stress on navigating your property claims, buying your first home, selling your home by owner, and home maintenance tips. I am your host, Brad Turner, and each week I'll guide you through these 4 topics. I help homeowners understand what is actually happening behind the scenes so they can protect their home and their wallet. Let me explain the 6 steps you should take when you have a water loss. Step 1. Stop the water. The first thing you should always do when you discover water damage is simple. Stop the source of the leak. That could mean shutting off the water main, turning off a broken appliance, or getting a tarp on the roof after a storm. You would be amazed at how often I hear the homeowners say the water was still running in while they were calling their insurance company. You must stop the water first. Step 2. Don't panic. Water damage feels urgent, and it is, but panic can lead to bad decisions. People start ripping out drywall, throwing away their furniture, and mopping the floors as if they were competing in a speed cleaning contest. That often destroys the evidence that the insurance company needs to see and can cost you money. The goal here is to prevent further damage, not to start demolition and remove all the evidence. Step 3. Call a plumber or a tarp company. Call a plumber immediately if the water leak needs to be repaired or stopped. Save the damaged plumbing parts and photograph them. You will need a plumber's report that states the cause of the water damage. You will need to send this report to your insurance company and possibly show the damaged part to the adjuster or send them a photo of it. Step 4. Take photos. Lots of photos. Take photos of everything before you touch or move anything. This will show the full extent of the damage immediately after the water loss, and you may need to send photos to the insurance company. Step 5. Clean up the water if it's clean water and safe to do so. Clean up any standing water if you can to prevent further damage to your home, possibly using a wet-dry shop vac if you have one. A mitigation company can also do this for you, but that could take hours for them to arrive. Step 6. Call your agent or your insurance company. Call your agent to explain what happened to see if it will be a covered loss. If you're not sure what your deductible is, verify that as well to see if the damage will exceed your deductible. Your agent can refer a preferred restoration company to assess the extent of the damage and determine if it is a severe water loss. If it's obvious that it will exceed your deductible, call your insurance company directly or go online and file a claim. Do not wait a long time to do this, as mitigation, which is the demo and the drying process, should be started within 3 days, as mold can start to grow within that 3-day period. If you wait more than 3 days, you risk a mold issue, and many policies do not cover mold without an additional endorsement if you wait too long to start the drying process. If the water damage is from your roof, you will need to have a tarp installed. You can get a tarp installer referral from your agent, or you can do it yourself. Make sure you or the tarp installer takes photos of the leaking area before the tarp is installed, as the insurance adjuster will need to see the damaged area to make his assessment. Another type of water loss, which is less common, is from ice damming. Ice damming is where heavy snow causes an ice dam along the gutter and traps water from flowing off the roof, creating a large puddle. Make sure you remove the ice dam from the roof immediately without damaging your roof or the gutter. Ice removal is often not covered by insurance. I have seen houses where many of the outside walls were wet from ice damming all the way around the house. This issue could have been avoided if the homeowner had used what's called a roof rake to remove heavy snow accumulating along the gutters. I have one and I use it often. You can purchase a roof rake from my website, happyhomeownershub.com. I do have a couple options. How do you know if you should file a claim? This is one of the biggest decisions you may have to make. Small water losses may be better paid out of pocket, especially if the damage repair cost is close to your deductible or less. Larger losses, structural damage, sewage damage, or widespread wet materials usually justify also filing a claim. Call a professional, not just a plumber. A plumber stops the leak. A water restoration company finds the hidden damage. They use moisture meters, thermal cameras, and drying equipment to prevent mold and future structural problems. Insurance companies expect you to take reasonable steps to mitigate any future damage, which means proper drying, not just fans from the garage. Professional restoration company will need to provide the insurance company with the proper documentation showing what is wet up front, and after they're all done drying, they will have to prove that the home is completely dry. There are 3 elements to drying out your property. Number 1, dehumidification, like a large dehumidifier. Number 2, air movement, like fans, or they call them air movers in the industry. Number 3 is heat. By using all 3 of these elements in your home after water damage, your home will usually dry out in 3 to 5 days. Let me give you an example of what happens when one of these 3 elements are not utilized. This is a fairly common issue. Let's say it's a cold January day and you live in the Chicagoland area, and you have a bedroom with a master bath over your non-heated finished garage, and the shower drain has a severe leak and it leaks into your finished garage. Since the garage is not heated, it will not properly dry out until heat is added. Let me give you some other real-life examples. The overflowing toilet. A customer had a toilet supply line break while they were at work. By the time they came home, water had soaked the bathroom, hallway, and part of the bedroom and leaked down into the kitchen. They did what many people do. They grabbed towels, start ripping up carpet, and threw everything in the garbage. When the adjuster arrived the next day, there was no way to tell how far the water had traveled and the exact extent of the damages, because the homeowner had already removed most of the proof. They ended up getting paid for less than half of what the actual damages should have been. Had they taken photos first and called a professional restoration company to document the full extent of the water damage, the claim would have looked very different and their claim payout would have been much greater. I can't stress this enough. Document everything. That's a huge theme in my book, The Happy Homeowner's Handbook for Navigating Property Claims. Before you move anything, take photos and videos showing exactly what the damage was before anything was cleaned up. Capture the following: where the water came from, also known as the source of the loss, how far it traveled, what materials got wet, and any damaged belongings or contents. Your phone becomes your best tool in a water loss. Insurance companies do not pay for what they cannot see. Here's another real-life example: the sneaky dishwasher. Another customer noticed their kitchen floor felt soft. Their dishwasher had been leaking slowly for months. The water had soaked into the cabinets, subfloor, and the drywall. Because it was not a sudden pipe burst, the insurance company called it long-term seepage and denied the claim, as the policy did not cover long-term seepage. Had they noticed the leak earlier, documented it, and called immediately when the leak had started, coverage may have been applied. Small leaks can quietly become big problems. Here's another example: the shop vac hero. I inspected a property where the homeowner had a basement flood. They spent all night shop vacuuming the water and running box fans. The basement looked dry, but the moisture was trapped inside the walls. A couple months later, they had mold everywhere at the bottom of the basement walls. The insurance company denied mold coverage because no professional drying was performed in a timely fashion following the initial basement flood. The homeowner did not take responsibility to ensure that the flood did not affect the walls. The shop vac marathon turned into a very expensive mistake because proper mitigation protocols were not followed. This is important to know. In water losses, there are 3 categories of water damage. It does make a significant difference when dealing with Category 3 water loss versus a Category 1 water loss. The required protocols are very different. Category 1 is clean water from a burst copper pipe in a wall or a burst supply line. This water damage does not always require demolition, and the walls can be dried using air drying holes and specialized drying equipment. Carpet can be cleaned, and often the padding is removed during the mitigation process. Category 2 water is considered gray water and is water that is not really clean, but it's not drain or sewage water either. For example, if a supply line leaks in an upstairs bathroom and water seeps through the floor and into the kitchen below, The water would be considered Category 2 because the water is mixed with construction materials containing glues, paints, stains, and other chemicals. Some pump water backups can also be considered Category 2 water. Category 3 water is very dirty water from a toilet drain, a mainline drain, a sewage backup, or even from water that has come through the basement window and is mixed with fertilizer and other chemicals or animal feces from the lawn. Anytime Category 3 water touches anything that is porous, such as drywall, wood, or carpet, it must be cut out and removed from the home. Even if Category 1 or 2 water sits for more than 3 days, it can become a Category 3 water loss, as a rough time frame in which microbial growth or mold can begin during that time frame. It must be cut out and removed from the home. Even if Category 1 or 2 water sits for more than 3 days, it can become a Category 3 water loss, as a rough time frame in which microbial growth or mold can begin is after 3 days. If you would like more information on navigating property claims, I have published a book available on Amazon.com called The Happy Homeowners Handbook for Navigating Property Claims, and I have a companion book called The Happy Homeowners Claim Documentation Booklet. For more information on these books and others, go to my website happyhomeownershub.com or look in the show notes. Here are some final thoughts. Water damage is not just about wet floors, it's about hidden moisture, insurance rules, and documentation. If you remember 3 things, remember these. Stop the water, document everything, and call the right professionals. Here is the Happy Homeowners Hub podcast disclaimer. The information provided in this podcast does not and is not meant to be considered professional or legal advice and should not be used without consulting a licensed professional. If you would like to receive my newsletter, which begins March of 2026, go to my website, happyhomeownershub.com, and fill out the Contact Us page and put the word newsletter in the message box. If you need coaching through a claim, that option exists too. You can sign up for a free claims discovery call to see if coaching is for you. See details on my website or in the show notes. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Happy Homeowners Hub podcast. My goal is to make your homeownership journey smoother, smarter, and way less stressful. I've got some great stories, tips, and periodic guest experts coming up in future episodes, so stay tuned. And remember, your home is your biggest investment. Be smart from the start. A calm homeowner with good information is a powerful thing. Thanks for listening. This is Fred Turner, and I will see you on the next episode. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.